I have been obsessing over the current state of the Houston Texans lately, and honestly, the silence regarding our biggest superstar feels louder than any stadium crowd. Something just developed concerning Stroud that could shake up the entire future of this franchise. It is a tricky situation because we all know what he means to this city, yet the latest reports suggest a massive disconnect behind the scenes. The more details surface, the harder it is to ignore what might be happening right under our noses. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your name and city below. Let's get into it. The Houston Texans are officially hitting the brakes on a massive contract extension for franchise quarterback Stroud. Since arriving as the second overall pick in the 2023 draft, Stroud has been our savior, revitalizing a struggling offense and leading us back to relevancy with his poise and pinpoint accuracy. We have watched him go from a promising rookie to the cornerstone of this organization, making him the most vital piece of our championship puzzle. And honestly, it is tough to envision this team without him anchoring the huddle. Recently, ESPN insider Jeremy Fowler reported that contract negotiations are essentially on pause with training camp just a month away. While the team already triggered his fifth-year option, the lack of momentum suggests both sides are comfortable waiting before committing to a deal that could exceed $60 million annually. Let's be real, this development has created a mix of anxiety and understanding within our fan base. We all remember that nightmare divisional round loss to Mike Vrabel and the Patriots where Stroud threw 4 first-half interceptions. That matters because it highlights why the front office might be hesitant to lock in a record-breaking contract before he proves he can consistently perform at an elite level under postseason pressure. Now here's the thing, Stroud is entering a critical prove-it season where he must wash away the memories of that New England disaster. Some believe he will play out his 4th year to maximize his future market value, mirroring the path of other top-tier quarterbacks. It is a high-stakes game of patience that leaves us holding our breath as we look toward a season with legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. As Houston Texans fans, we need to understand that this stalemate stems from a perfect storm of timing and evolving market values for elite signal callers. After the team exercised his 5th-year option, the front office bought themselves significant leverage, which now dictates why talks are currently on pause. With rumors suggesting a massive valuation nearing $60 million annually, the team must exercise extreme caution. Here is where it gets interesting because this dynamic mirrors the Trevor Lawrence saga, where a team had to weigh early investment against the need for consistent, high-level output over a longer sample size. Let's be real, while we love CJ, his recent 4-interception collapse against Mike Vrabel and the Patriots in the postseason left a sour taste that complicates contract math. That matters because the front office is clearly prioritizing long-term financial flexibility to keep our Super Bowl window wide open. They are likely sitting behind closed doors looking at the brutal reality of salary cap gymnastics, deciding if he has truly reached his absolute ceiling yet. Now, here's the thing. History shows us that waiting on a mega deal can be a double-edged sword for this franchise. If he enters the season without an extension, he carries the weight of proving that his sophomore slump was just a temporary anomaly rather than a trend. And honestly, it is a business decision where the coaching staff likely wants to see how he manages the pressure of a make-or-break year before committing franchise-altering capital. We have seen other teams pay too early only to regret the cap hit, so the Texans are choosing patience over panic. Whether this gamble pays off or creates unnecessary friction, our focus remains on the upcoming camp as we prepare to scream Bulls on parade from the stands all year long. As Houston Texans fans, we are all watching the situation with Stroud closely because the financial future of this franchise is currently in limbo. That matters because locking in a franchise quarterback dictates every other move we make regarding our salary cap space and our ability to retain key defensive stars. Right now, the immediate impact on the roster is that the front office maintains maximum flexibility to keep surrounding talent around Stroud, but it leaves us without the long-term cost certainty that a massive extension would provide. If we wait, we could end up paying a premium if his value spikes after a deep playoff run. Let's be real, a $60 million annual average is a huge gamble for a team that saw a rough postseason finish in Foxborough against a Mike Vrabel-led squad. Here is where it gets interesting, as this decision ripples into our upcoming games against rejuvenated division rivals like the Tennessee Titans under Robert Saleh and Mike Borgonzi. If our quarterback enters the season without a deal, the pressure to prove his consistency against elite defensive schemes becomes the primary narrative of the entire year. And honestly, this shifts our standing, because we need Stroud to be the undisputed anchor if we want to separate ourselves from the pack in the AFC South. Now, here is the thing. Our championship window is wide open, but we have to ensure our quarterback play remains elite during high-stakes matchups against playoff contenders like the Buffalo Bills under Joe Brady. We need to stay focused as we chase glory, so let us keep our eyes on training camp, trust the process, and get ready to scream our team chant because it is always time for Bulls on Parade. We have the roster to win it all, and with everyone aligned, this season is ours for the taking. On one side, locking CJ Stroud up now makes perfect sense for our team because it secures our franchise cornerstone at a set price before the quarterback market inevitably inflates even further. By finalizing an extension this summer, we would avoid any distractions or contract drama that could potentially derail our championship pursuit, providing the organization and our fans with total peace of mind for the next decade. But on the other side, waiting is a calculated move that allows the Texans to maintain extreme financial flexibility while demanding more consistency from their signal caller. After that tough postseason loss in Foxborough against Mike Vrabel's defense, the front office clearly wants to see Stroud bounce back and prove he can handle high-pressure games without those costly turnover streaks. That matters because handing out a $60 million annual salary requires absolute certainty that the player has reached his ceiling. Here is where it gets interesting, as ESPN insider Jeremy Fowler reports that talks are essentially on pause, leading league observers to compare this dynamic to the Trevor Lawrence situation where teams must decide between early investment or waiting for further proof. Now here's the thing, everyone is watching how we handle this delicate balance, while other squads like the Titans under Robert Saleh and Mike Borgonzi are making major moves to shift the AFC South power structure. Let's be real, the pressure is mounting for everyone involved. And honestly, my real take here is that waiting is the right call for the Texans right now. Stroud is undoubtedly our guy, but he needs to show that he has matured from last year's playoff collapse before we break the bank. We have Super Bowl aspirations this season, and if CJ elevates his game, he will earn every cent of that record contract next summer. Bulls on Parade. As we navigate the current landscape of the Houston Texans, it is clear that the decision to pause extension talks with CJ Stroud defines our franchise direction for the next several seasons. By holding off, the front office is prioritizing long-term flexibility while demanding that our quarterback reaches a higher level of consistency before locking in a record-breaking contract. That matters because committing $60 million annually requires absolute certainty, especially after that difficult playoff exit in New England. Here is where it gets interesting as we look toward this upcoming season. You should feel cautiously optimistic and patient rather than anxious because this team is clearly committed to a championship window. Let's be real, waiting a year allows Stroud to prove he can overcome his recent postseason struggles and cement himself as a true elite tier leader. This strategy protects our cap space and ensures we keep surrounding him with elite talent. And honestly, having a hungry quarterback playing for his massive payday is often the best fuel for a deep playoff run. If we want to bring a championship to Houston, we need to know that Stroud can deliver in high-pressure environments consistently. The upcoming training camp will be the ultimate proving ground for his mental fortitude and physical development. Now, here's the thing. Do you believe the Texans should prioritize a massive early extension to show total faith in Stroud, or is holding off until next year the smarter move to ensure we keep the rest of this talented roster intact? Sound off in the comments below with your take on this critical situation. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Bulls on Parade. I'll see you in the next one.